So I guess we can make this video. There isn't really anything else to talk about nowadays, right? Unless there's a signing or a trade or something that goes down while I'm asleep and this video gets posted on YouTube while I'm asleep, so all the videos are out of date. But either way, in this commentary, we are going to go out there and respond to an article on NewYorkTimes.com. Or, as it's now known as, The Athletic, because for some reason the New York Times bought The Athletic, so all The Athletic articles and content that we're used to seeing appears on NewYorkTimes.com. It's very interesting. But this article on The Athletic, which we're just going to call it The Athletic, screw the New York Times, was published by Arthur Staple from earlier 2 days ago. Jacob Trouba and Capo Caco trades, Ryan Lindgren contract, and more Rangers thoughts. This is, of course, a Rangers update, and ultimately what Staples has to say in regards to the Jacob Trouba Detroit Red Wings trade conversation. Now, we have made our few videos talking about Trouba and how he was going to get traded to the Wings, and how he didn't get traded to the Wings, and how all the reports said that he would have gotten traded to the Wings, but ultimately he said no because he's got trade protection, and even though he has trade protection that is not full, it's just limited. We're still living in a world where apparently Trouba has the ability to say no to any team. He would really make it not worth it for a team if they were to trade for him because he's very adamant in staying in the Rangers area. Either way, if you wanted the scoop on all of those, we've made a ton of videos talking about Trouba and the Red Wings, but in this video we are talking about Staples' piece. Now, of course, this piece is on The Athletic, it's paid for material. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read it yourself, but to help us out, we're going over onto Spectre's Hockey from yesterday, July 17th, because Lyle Richardson summarizes the points made here by Arthur Staple. He reports it doesn't appear that the New York Rangers will trade or buy out Jacob Trouba this summer. The 30-year-old defenseman was subject of trade speculation linking him to the Red Wings last month. However, league sources claim there was never anything close to a deal with the Wings. Trading or buying out Trouba now would leave the Rangers in the market for a right-handed defenseman behind Adam Fox and Braden Schneider, who kills penalties and can handle an occasional increase in playing time. Staple indicated that there was at least one conversation between Trouba and the Rangers GM Chris Drury. There may have been some fence mending by the Rangers regarding those trade rumors, but Trouba is a pro who won't put his emotions over the good of the team. Instead, he'll put his elbow. How about that? Okay, that wasn't written in the article, that was me saying that. However, Arthur Staple believes it's nearly certain that Trouba will be traded next summer. He has a 15-team no-trade list, will have a year left on his contract, and his wife's medical residency will be completed by then. This is what Lyle Richardson said about the Trouba situation. The silence that we have heard in the rumor mill about Trouba since July 1st led most of us to conclude that he would not be traded or bought out this summer. Drury's attempt to trade him before July 1st was to free up cap space to make one or two signings in the free agent market. With that market now picked clean, there is no reason to move Trouba now. And if you had seen the videos that we had made, okay, I'm not making it seem like I myself am an insider, I'm just regurgitating stuff that people on social media, insiders and analysts go out there and say about these situations. If you had seen all the stuff that we looked at back in like June 30th, July 1st-ish, there were already so many reports, insiders going crazy about the idea of Jacob Trouba being done, how his entire situation with New York was coming to an end here, either via a trade or a buyout. The guy's making $8 million a year, he doesn't play like an $8 million player, he hurts guys more than he actually helps the play, and his performance in that series in the third round this previous playoffs was terrible. The guy absolutely lost it against the Florida Panthers. He could not defend to save his life. Trouba just had a really bad stint. But honestly, when he is at his best, I think it's fair to make the argument that Trouba is a player worth having around, for as much as he injures opponents and hurts the play of his own team. He is still a big, right-handed defenseman with physical intangibles and leadership qualities, and sometimes that is very valuable in the room. For $8 million a year, though, and the caliber of play that Trouba provides, I just don't really see it, and a lot of people didn't really either, which is why, when we saw the rumors about the Rangers either trading or buying him out on July 1st, everybody was like, okay, great, like, we don't really think that's surprising. It's not that shocker kind of move. It's just gonna happen. It was inevitable, right? But now hearing that Trouba pretty much rejected a trade to Detroit, or that a trade wasn't really close at all to happening because of the situation with his wife sticking around in New York residency, it does open the door for more trade conversations to happen in the future. And by this time next year, Jacob Trouba will most likely not be a New York Ranger. At least, that's what Arthur Staple is saying. I'll say this as well. If Jacob Trouba has an absolutely fantastic 2024-2025, he absolutely goes off. He ups his career high in points, which would be somewhere in the 50-point mark. He actually stops taking terrible penalties. He stops injuring guys with his elbow. He's more responsible as a hitter. He's more responsible as a defender. Let's say Jacob Trouba has that freaking amazing revival. Then okay. You don't need to trade him anymore. Let that contract expire in 2026 as an $8 million defenseman who has got some very good intangibles to go along with the point scoring. However, is it really realistic for Jacob Trouba to break 50 points again like he had done in Winnipeg in his last year there before signing that huge extension? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of tough to go out there and outduel Adam Fox for top power play time. That guy's going to get all the defensive-offensive production, right? Trouba is more so of an afterthought when it comes to producing points. And with his play over the years getting worse, especially as the games go further along into the playoffs, you have to start wondering, okay, I mean, this is going to be a season where the Rangers are going to have to try to pay teams to get Trouba off of their hands for free. There's going to be no real reason for a team to go out there and get Trouba because the ability that he has on the ice, if it continues going downwards, that contract is just going to look worse and worse and worse. Unless you're a team that needs dollars to hit the cap floor, then there isn't really any reason to think about a Trouba trade if you're a team outside of the New York Rangers trying to bolster up your team. Never mind the Detroit Red Wings that may have themselves an opportunity to revisit these talks next year. I mean, Steve Yzerman over the years has been in the market for these kinds of two-way stable guys, especially up front. I mean, you talk about all the prospects the Wings have drafted, not to mention the guys they had signed, Andrew Kopp, JT Comfort, Tyler Mott. There's that hard-nosed, hard-to-play-against quality that Steve Yzerman very much values. And on defense, you can say that there's more to be desired in that respect. Jake Wallman, he's gone. Justin Hall, he's still here. Jeff Petrie isn't great, and then you have Moritz Seider and Simon Edvinsson, everybody else rounding itself out. If the Red Wings wanted to bolster up their blue line, make it a little bit more difficult to play against, and make it a lot more dangerous, then Jacob Trouba, I guess he's your guy. It's just the dollar amount is really what ticks everybody else off, and there's going to have to be salary retained if Red Wings fans are going to be happy with this kind of a move. Either that, or Jacob Trouba actually looks really good, suiting up for his hometown Detroit Red Wings team, and he actually plays like a player who is worth the money he is being paid. That's a very difficult world to envision, but either way, it is the one that we may be succumbing to see as the next few months and inevitably the next year goes on. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the idea of Jacob Trouba getting traded to the Red Wings once again, and this entire update by Arthur Staple as to where the Trouba trade conversations have gone. It seems like everything has died down. No more trade, no more buyout, at least for right now. The Rangers don't have the capital, nor do they have the market available to them to get themselves a defenseman to replace Jacob Trouba in the lineup should they get rid of him. So I guess for now, this is it. This is the guy. He is on New York. He is sticking as the captain, and he'll hopefully have a much better time than he did in the third-round series against the Florida Panthers. He was so bad in that series, man. I get it. The playoffs are long, and they are tiring, but you gotta remember, man, the other teams played as many games too, sometimes even more. So you can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Trouba gonna bounce back from this? Is he even capable of doing that at this point in his career? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.